listening to the legendary podcaster, the one, the only, TJamD, your personal favorite, and the show you've been waiting for, Probably Offensive.
Welcome to Probably Offensive. That's the name of this podcast. For those of you who don't know or not quite sure how to find this podcast, today I'm doing the show solo. I have been joined the last couple of shows by T. Crow, my broadcasting partner, but he's in Myrtle Beach enjoying himself, I hope, today. So T. Crow is not going to be joining us today, but he will be back. We'll be doing the Duo podcast at some time in the future. So T. Crow not in the house today, but he'll be back. So everybody who usually tunes in to As the Crow Flies and you see me on here, you can settle for me by myself, solo. So anyway, we got a lot of things we can cover tonight. First off, I just want to say that for those of you who didn't even know I was doing a podcast, podcast is called Probably Offensive. You can find it on Spotify or on your iHeartRadio app. Just search for Probably Offensive. Now, when I first started this podcast, there was no other shows, no other podcast called Probably Offensive, and I love the name. I like the name. So I decided to call the podcast Probably Offensive. But since I've started this podcast, there's at least five other shows called Probably Offensive. I don't know why they're copying off of me, but there's more shows called Probably Offensive. Probably just a good name. And they sing, one show called Probably Offensive. If I was just now starting a podcast, I'd want to call my show something else. Terrence actually told me that since he started his show, As the Crow Flies, that there's at least 20 other people with the same name. So people going to copy off of you. So if you search for this show, you'll see a picture of me. If you're looking for this show, just look for the picture of me leaning up against a white car. So that's how you can find it on Spotify or on your iHeart Radio app, or Facebook or Twitter, or YouTube. So anyway, what's going on right now? And I just want to say this before I start out. There's one person, and it was Terrence Crow convinced me to do live. I didn't do live at first when I first started this podcast. I didn't go live on Facebook. I used to just do the podcast and put it online, and whoever listened to it. So Crow said we should go live, and even though he's not here tonight, I'm going live on Facebook. So there was one person, I won't mention her name, who questioned the stuff that I talk about. The stuff that I talk about usually is based on what's going on in the world. So if you are mature enough and you pay attention to what's going on in the world, you'll probably be interested in what I'm talking about. If you're not, then you probably should be listening to a podcast that's done by someone who's 10 years old or a teenager or something, because I talk about adult shit here on this podcast. If it's over your head, sorry, it's too bad. It seems like right now what's going on is people talking about this vaccine, whether you should take the vaccine or not take the vaccine. And I'm actually surprised that everybody is not on board. Well, I already know that there were some conspiracy theorists. And it seems like now a lot of right-wingers, because a lot of right-wing media is discouraging people from taking the vaccine, which, I'm not going to lie, I have not had the vaccine myself. I feel like they rushed the vaccine, getting it out there as fast as they possibly could. So um, I have not gotten shots, vaccine shots myself. A lot of, but you know, I would encourage people to get it if what I'm saying. You feel like you need it, get the vaccine. And I don't think there's anything wrong with the vaccine. Um, I don't know if I'm going to end up getting it myself. Probably will, but I see that Tucker Carlson, Fox News host, was discouraging people from getting the vaccine, which to me, it was all based on stuff that's not true. What he was saying on the show is just stuff that's just not true. So you get a lot of these people who are out here discouraging people from getting the vaccine um, based on stuff that's not, it's just information that's just bogus, just nonsensical. And that's a problem in our society because we we're going to reach herd immunity. What they call herd immunity is based on the majority of people in the society in America. The majority of people in America getting the vaccine. So if the majority of people, and I say half the people, if half the people get the vaccine, we will reach herd immunity by half the people can't supposedly get COVID. If half the people cannot get COVID, then we're going to reach herd immunity because they cannot spread COVID. That's what the vaccine is supposed to be for, right? If you get the vaccine, then you can't spread COVID, or maybe you can spread COVID, but you don't have any, it doesn't affect you. It's what it's supposed to be. If you get the vaccine, you're not supposed to be affected by the symptoms of the vaccine. But there's a lot of people saying that the virus killed no one, almost no one, and the vaccine killed everyone, which is nonsense. That's just nonsense, okay? The virus killed 500,000 people. So if you want to say that's no one, less than 1% of the population, fine. The virus killed less than 1% of the population. But the vaccine has killed no one. There's a lot of adverse reactions to the vaccine, but there's no data that says that it has actually killed anyone. So you conspiracy theorists will go on and say the virus kills everyone, but the virus killed no one, but the vaccine kills everyone, which is nonsensical. It's just not true. And then you have jackasses like Alex Jones, the internet sensation who likes to think that the boogeyman is real. He is the king of conspiracy theorists and really just an overall jackass. So I don't watch Fox News, but every now and then I click over to it just to see what they're talking about. And Tucker Carlson was going on and on about how this vaccine is killing people. And so I'm not exactly sure why he is so wanting people not to take the vaccine. I think that's just what his viewers expect is for him to say these things. If he's said anything that they don't like, the ratings go down. So he just wants to, say what his viewers want him to say, and that is to go against the administration. When it was the last administration, when the evil dummy was in office, they went, along with whatever he said. But now, it's a Democrat in office, so they just want to go against everything that is good. And this vaccine does not kill. I won't say it doesn't kill anybody because obviously some people will die, but it's a minuscule number. I don't want to say that to the families of people who died from the vaccine, but the virus killed 500,000 people. The vaccine is not up, not to date killed anyone so far that you can prove. Get any hard proof of it? You can say it's killed people, but you don't have any hard proof of it. So this is a big thing right now that's going on. This vaccine, whether you want to take it, don't take it. They had over 150 million people vaccinated, and now the numbers are going down with the people who are getting vaccinated. The numbers are dropping. There's a lot of people who don't want to get vaccinated. Like I said, I myself am a healthy guy. I never had any COVID symptoms. I've never even taken a flu shot. So my theory was if everyone else took the vaccine, I wouldn't have to, because we would reach herd immunity. That's what they were looking toward, herd immunity. But doesn't look like we're going to reach that herd immunity now, because there's a lot of people who are just don't want to take it. You know, they're afraid to get this vaccine. So we'll see how that goes. Like I said, I can't tell people to go out and get a vaccine that I have myself have not gotten. But if you are in a position where you need to get the vaccine, you should get the vaccine. I don't think the vaccine is killing people as much as, especially as much as Alex Jones or Tucker Carlson are leading you to believe. Alex Jones actually said he had facts that if you take this vaccine, you're going to die within 10 years, which is nonsense. He has no idea what he's talking about. This guy is, his specialty is scaring people and making people think the boogeyman exists. So I would not, to me, the guy's a joke. You know what I'm saying? If you listen to Alex Jones, your sanity should be questioned. So anyway, that's what's going on right now. The vaccine and whether you should take it or not. I worked with a young lady who said she didn't have to wear a mask because of medical reasons, which, you know, I'm not a medical professional, but I said, you know, that's nonsense. I didn't say it to her. I was thinking that's nonsense. She just doesn't want to wear a mask. She actually, at our building where we work at, you have to wear a mask to come in the building, or you're supposed to. You know, if management's not around or not paying attention, you know, people come in the building without wearing a mask. But this young lady said she didn't have to wear a mask for medical reasons. Luckily, management was not around and nobody cared. You know, she just came in the building. But I was thinking, that's bullshit. You're just not wearing a mask because you just don't want to wear a mask. Okay? There's no medical reasons that said a mask is going to hurt you. Doctors and nurses have been wearing masks for 100 years in hospitals. Nobody's ever complained that a mask was hurting them. Okay? So all of a sudden we get to this place where we're in a pandemic and everybody wants to act like, you know, it's all about government control and the vaccine is Bill Gates's way to shoot the microchip. I mean, this is complete bullshit. This is nonsense, people. See, I just happen to be 100% sane. That's the problem. You know what I'm saying? So whenever I hear people, no matter how smart you think you are, because a lot of people who are conspiracy theorists always point out, well, you're clueless because you're just not as, I mean, you just don't understand that, you know, what's going on behind the scenes. And my IQ is blah, 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 blah. Listen, it's not about how smart you are. It's about whether you're 100% sane. And I am. So therefore, I'm never going to agree with things that are just not true and nonsensical. So